Good afternoon, I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. A special welcome to those of you watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app from the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the word Spot Media. The St. Mary police had to rescue a man from an angry mob outside a nightclub Monday morning after he was attacked for allegedly stabbing another man. The man who was stabbed is now in critical condition at hospital. But when the residents could not have their way, they blocked a section of the main road to show their anger. TVJ Midday reports.
The scene minutes after 8 Monday morning in Rockabessa, St. Mary. The residents using old fridge and other debris to block a section of the main road. The reason, they could not have their way with a man who they say stabbed another man outside a nightclub because the police intervened to prevent jungle justice.
We want justice. Can't kill the man over there. Stop him. Stop is a good man. That is wickedness.
What made the residents even angry is when the police rescued the man through a back door of the establishment. The new commanding officer for the parish, Superintendent Bowen Morgan, appealed to the residents for calm.
But remember that justice takes a particular course. All right? Justice takes a particular course. And so we have to allow the law to go the way it has to go. We cannot just turn over somebody to you because he would have done something. That is not how we can do it.
Superintendent Morgan also asked the residents to clear the road, but they refused.
So work with me now. Work with me. Work with me. I'm gonna move the first piece, all right? I'm gonna move the first piece. Who is gonna help me? Let me see who is gonna help me.
The police, they help you. Me want just to come to your boat. The police, they help you.
You have to help. You cannot afford the lady on the road to do it. You have to help you. You have to help you. You have to help her.
Hours later, the police were seen clearing the area. Superintendent Dudley Scott is asking the residents to assist the police in the investigation.
What I'm going to appeal to you, anybody, any person who witnessed what occurred, we need them to come forward. It's very important that you come forward to give the police a statement. We have very senior detective. In fact, we have the crime chief in charge of the entire parish that will be leading this investigation.
Shamela Mitchell, TVJ News.
Commuters and shoppers in downtown Kingston are being assured by the Central Kingston Police Division that all will be secure for the holiday season. This as the division rolls out a Yuletide police plan for the area. According to head of operations in the Central Kingston Division, the cops have been out in full force since last week as part of the plan. An assessment of 2017 for the division was also given. Worrying crime figures this year for several police divisions across the island. But the cops attached to the Central Kingston Police say crime is down in their division and is expected to remain that way for the rest of the year. The man who heads police operations in the division, DSP Linval Phoenix, says he's confident as for the rest of the year and into 2018, a Yuletide police plan will be in place.
And that plan is all-encompassing and taking into one, our main areas that we have issues, or challenges, so to speak, as it relates to crime and disorder. And most of all, the business district of downtown Kingston, which will, I would say, consume about 60% of the resources that we will have to deploy within that period of time.
While the statistics for most crimes, such as robberies and rape, have been down in most divisions, the main concern continues to be murders. DSP Phoenix says, compared to 2016, homicide numbers for the Central Kingston Division are trending down as well.
We are presently at 27 relative to murders compared to 47 where we were last year this time, which shows a significant improvement over the period of time. That did not occur willy-nilly. It occurred through our diligent work by the men and women of Kingston Central. And we'll continue to put in those work where it is necessary.
The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation announced that plans have been finalized with the police to accommodate consumers for the usual Christmas shopping in downtown Kingston. DSP Phoenix says despite the recent sick-out by rank-and-file members of the force, members of his team are back at work and remain motivated and prepared to effectively police the division. By his assessment, business operators and shoppers can rest assured they will be protected as they carry out their transactions this. The police force will today officially receive additional vehicles to help in its fight against crime. The National Security Ministry had said it signed deals to purchase 160 used and new cars for various car dealers, from various dealers that is. The cars started arriving on Friday. These cars are separate from the ones being sought by O'Brien's Car Sales and Rentals. There has been controversy since it was revealed that O'Brien's failed to hand over 200 pre-owned cars for the police after almost a year. Only 30 of the cars have since been handed over. And concerns this afternoon about raw sewage and a fleet of over 40 abandoned motor vehicles at the Spanish Town Police Station in St. Catherine, which is causing headaches for inmates and staff members. This comes at a time when the police are strapped for vehicles to help control the spiraling crime rate. TVJ's Kalisha Williams has the report.
This area, which appears to be a junkyard for abandoned cars, is actually behind the Spanish Town Police Station in St. Catherine. Over 40 vehicles are here, abandoned on the compound for years. 16 of those vehicles belong to the police. It comes at a time when the Jamaica Constabulary Force is struggling with a motor vehicle shortage. But head of the St. Catherine North Police, Superintendent Bew Rigaby, pointed out that the vehicles are useless and have only been creating problems at the station, which is why the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation will be working to have some of those vehicles removed.
If we are so allowed to by the mayor in relation to moving them from this location to our storage location, it will be facilitated.
The entire back section of the station was in a deplorable condition. As you would have seen here, that really and truly, it's tantamount to really catastrophe. There's an issue with a part of the fencing. We are going to be assisting with that by putting in that other fence that is needed at the back.
But even more intriguing, the motor vehicles hoarded at the station forms only part of the problem. There were also concerns about raw sewage flowing through the compound when it rains, especially where the inmates are housed.
Just a matter of being uncomfortable, the stench. Well, they have already expressed their disgruntlement with that. So again, members as well as inmates having a problem with it. Hence, we're trying to, at best, make it go away.
Mayor of Spanish Town Norman Scott has promised help. He said the sewage flowing into the station yard is coming from the neighboring community De La Vega City, where there is an issue at the treatment plant.
I'm going to be writing to the health department and the Ministry of Health to ensure that the sewage treatment plant that this area feeds into, which is the same De La Vega City treatment plant. Some time ago, some repairs were started, and we're going to be following up with it to ensure that the repairs are completed.
Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
More condolences are coming in for veteran journalist Ian Bowen, who died at the University Hospital on Monday. Bowen has been hailed by many as a consummate media professional who told the stories of many from rags to riches.
Ian was just an outstanding individual, an outstanding journalist, well-read, had a passion for social justice and improvement of our country. We've seen that he was strong in his views and always defending his views, and is always looking to see how us as a people could advance in developing our own social capital.
At a personal level, I met Ian when I worked at JAMPRO. He also worked at JAMPRO, and we developed a very good working relationship then and when I was in government, and I interacted with him a lot, and I was always impressed by the level of professionalism that he exhibited. And very importantly, Ian spent his entire life working in government, but he wasn't afraid to criticize persons within government.
And we want to use this opportunity to laud all the efforts and the successes of Mr. Ian Bowen for all that he has done to expand the cause of Jamaica and all the talent that he has exposed and uncovered during his time here with us.
Jamaican has lost a son. I cannot miss one of his programs. Whenever there is a profile, whenever there's a Sunday evening when his program is coming on, I ensure that I either have it on tape or at home listening to him.
In the meantime, the Press Association of Jamaica, PAJ, has also joined those expressing sadness at Mr. Bowen's death. In a statement last night, the PAJ said Ian served the journalistic fraternity with pride, passion, and consummate professionalism. The PAJ noted that he was respected by politicians on both sides of the aisle, being recognized as fair and balanced, even as he told his truth. The association said Ian will also be remembered by young journalists as one who was quick to give advice and encouragement. The Goat Islands are to be declared a wildlife sanctuary after years of debating whether to use the location for a transshipment port. Speaking on TVJ Smile Jamaica on Tuesday, incoming CEO of the Jamaica Environment Trust, JET, Susan Stanley, said there will be legislation process to declare the island as a wildlife sanctuary. She noted that the islands are currently owned by the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, which will be entering into a co-management arrangement with the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. Ms. Stanley added that the Goat Islands are a key part of Jamaicans' environmental heritage and so should be protected.
For us to create a population of Jamaican iguanas and protect them. When we're talking about the Jamaican iguana, it's a really good example. So that dry limestone forest that makes up a large section of the Portland Bight protected area, it really depends on animals like the Jamaican iguana for its health. So the iguana helps keep the forest healthy.
Ms. Stanley said there are 7 species endemic to Jamaica that can inhabit the Goat Islands. She noted that there will also be programs implemented to protect the islands and the species. In news overseas, UK Prime Minister Theresa May insists she will not be derailed from her duty to deliver Brexit, despite her government suffering an embarrassing defeat in the House of Commons last week. Lawmakers last week backed an amendment to the Brexit bill, meaning the UK Parliament must be given a vote on the final deal with the European Union before withdrawal begins. We have more from the CNN.
Getting to this point has required give and take on both sides, and I believe that the joint report being published is in the best interests of the whole of the UK. I very much welcome the prospect of moving ahead to the next phase, to talk about trade and security, and to discuss the positive and ambitious future relationship that is in all of our interests. I've consistently said that we want to build a deep and special partnership with the EU as we implement the decision of the British people to leave at the end of March 2019. Doing so will provide clarity and certainty for businesses in the UK and the EU, and crucially for all our citizens. The deal we've struck will guarantee the rights of more than 3 million EU citizens living in the UK and of 1 million UK citizens living in the EU.
And we go now to sports as American World 100-meter champion Justin Gatlin today denied involvement in doping through a statement from his lawyers following an expose by the British newspaper The Telegraph. Keon Rayner reports.
The Telegraph alleges that members of Gatlin's team, including his coach Dennis Mitchell and an agent Robert Wagner, offered to illicitly supply banned substances to an undercover reporter in July. As a result, Gatlin and coach Mitchell are now being investigated by sports and doping authorities. On Monday, Gatlin's legal team announced that he had fired coach Mitchell and disclosed more than 5 years' worth of official drugs tests to show he has never tested positive for any banned substances. Undercover reporters visited Gatlin's Florida training camp, where coach Mitchell, the Olympic gold medalist, and agent Wagner offered to supply and administer testosterone and human growth hormone for an actor training for a movie. Mitchell and Wagner were also secretly recorded claiming that the use of banned substances in track and field was still widespread, as they described how positive doping tests could be avoided. In one meeting, the agent claimed that Gatlin had himself been taking banned drugs, which the sprinter has strenuously denied in a statement. Gatlin's agent for the last 14 years, Renaldo Nehemiah, said that Wagner had worked for Gatlin on no more than 2 or 3 occasions, and that the sprinter was not present when the banned substances were being discussed with the agent or coach. Gatlin, who beat Bolt in his last World Championship appearance in London this summer, has twice been banned for doping in 2001 and 2006. Reporting for TVJ Sports, I'm Keon Reyna.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.